Good evening. So this time around, like I filmed it kind of late, but mm, I still remember to upload every single day. So here I am, and if you're watching this right now, I hope that you have a great day, no matter when, and no matter where. And then I wanna talk about, you know, I think some of the time it feels great to just film uh and knowing nothing about what you're gonna talk about and knowing nothing about what's gonna came out and just embracing and being open of what I going to say. And then yeah, especially in this film also, I think many content creator or artists, especially in this day with like followers, you can create from a space where, okay, you can learn. I mean, I learned in the past that, okay, this, how to get this number, and oh, I can tweak this hook, I can learn the typography. I mean, you can learn on all of that, but it just doesn't, there is the difference between when you just film because the experience versus filming because the result. Of course, you cannot deny that. Of course, you cannot deny that, okay, I want these numbers. You cannot deny the numbers and deny that wanting the numbers and the like, it's great. But I'm trying like to be conscious and to be mindful, to like always as good as I can, always create in a place from fun and just curious. I mean, treat this as an art, treat this as a canvas, treat this as a place to experiment, to explore as many things as possible, and treat this as fun, as exciting as possible. And most of the time, like, great things came from things that are not planned. Great things came from the things that are an accident, like quote unquote accident, the thing that's like spontaneous. And as a Virgo rising myself, like I'm struggling like about planning. If you were a Virgo in the big tree, like you can relate to wanting to have everything figured out, to wanting to have plan to every detail, and want things to be perfect all the time, like the details to be organized. And just, yeah, I mean, it's the stereotype of Virgo. But I think most of the thing that people don't know about Virgo, it's also Virgo is like correlate, like always Virgo is Persephone. In the when you see the constellation in the astronomy, Virgo constellation is Persephone, which is like the Greek goddess of, but she is the daughter of Demeter. How do you spell it? Demeter. Like, it's the goddess of, I think Persephone is the goddess of spring, if I'm not wrong. But later, after she married Hades, it becomes also, she is also the goddess of the underworld. So it's like Virgo have this like sweet and dark, like kind of have depth and mystic, like have that like mysterious side to her. And also, Virgo often depicted as the maiden, as like this sweet little girl, but like have the duality. And then what I want to talk about, especially if you are a person, and of course you're gonna have duality, even multi-layered, because we are a person, every person, every soul have multi-layered. We are dimensional, multi-dimensional human being. So if another person say to you that, "Oh, why are you changing, why are you like this?" then it means, and it's great if they are questioning it in a place, from a place where like just questioning in curious way. But if they question you like, why you suddenly change, I don't like this version of you, because in the past also, like I have, I think, a past partner that say to me, I didn't like the version of you, like where is this version, where were the version that I like. Some of people, especially in relationship, we like our partner, we like our friend because they fit a certain idea in our head. But if like the reality that they show, it suddenly doesn't fit the idea or the imagination or the fantasy that we create in our head, it's like most of the time we blame the person, and therefore, yeah, maybe. And I think it happened also to everyone at a certain point of everyone's lives, where we fall in love with a person, not because of the person, but it's because the idea of the person. We fall in love with the idea of that person that we have in our head. And most of the time we are denial, we are, it's not that it's elusive, it's sometimes we are the one that create this illusion. And most of the time we are the one that choosing, I don't, because subconsciously, okay, I don't like this version, so I, like my subconscious is like, I will deny this thing, like I will choose to not see it, I will pretend that I don't know about this, but in fact they're the truth. And most of the time the truth hurts. The truth is something that you don't like. The truth will be things that maybe it's doesn't fulfill your expectation, but the truth is the truth. And I think being honest, it's better than lying to yourself. Being honest, it's better than concealing the truth, concealing the ugly truth, if you want to say it like that. Like for example, like in my past relationship dynamic, I often like unconsciously, not unaware of my pattern, like I often, almost always, like avoid conflict because it's uncomfortable, because I used to believe that if I want to have a good relationship, it means that I will have no conflict at all. Like conflict is bad, arguing is bad. But turns out it's not. Actually, like I think one of the key ingredients of a good real healthy relationship is being able the ability to being able to have healthy argument, you know, to have healthy discussion, exchange, conversation. It's not, I'm not saying the conflict that abusive, not that way, not in an abusive way, but in the way, you know, you can hold space for each other. And then if you are able to feel safe and also hold space for the other person, and then saying, oh, this is what I believe and this is why I don't feel satisfied, this is why I feel sad, and then I think that's the true form of intimacy, you know. People often talk about intimacy like sensual, like sexuality in a couple, but I think the true intimacy, it's like when you are able to say you are upset when you are upset, you know, when you feel safe, that you don't have to conceal anything anymore. I think that's the true form of being intimate with the other soul, with the other person, when you can and able to just show who you are really are, not just the one aspect or one layer that you want to show, but every layer. You know, when you have that person, when you have that place where you can just show every layer, every dimension of you personality, everything about your soul, like it it just feels, I think that's the true definition of soulmate, you know, being able to, yeah, just be yourself. And if you haven't, if you are real in a relationship and you haven't, and you think you cannot be yourself, I mean, you cannot, you still have to conceal the truth, like you are not comfortable enough to say you are tired when you are tired, to say that you're disappointed because the action, I mean, there, yeah, of course there are many factors, but ask yourself, like, do you want to be a person where, to be in a relationship where you cannot say what you want to say and you cannot feel tired, where you must obligated to be happy all the time, obligated to like say yes all the time, to obligated to be content and, yeah, wish all the time? So that's one journal prompt, and you could maybe reflect on that. So I think for this video, I'm going to leave it here, and the rest it's up to you. Bye bye.